begin the meeting. Call to order, 7:04, sorry. Start with a prayer. Heavenly Father, please watch over us tonight as we conduct town business. Give us the intuition to perform at the best of our ability and help out those that are in need. In your name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Okay. We have copies of our January minutes, but before we get to that, privilege of the floor, for those that are here from Delaware Solar, we have you on the agenda unless there's something you would like to say ahead of time.
No, I think we can wait until we're.
Okay. It won't take long. We'll get there. We'll get there quickly. All right. I ask everyone to please review the agenda. Good.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I was just going to say, just because, I mean, we did have a discussion about the Board of Appeals. It might just be easy to put Board of Appeals discussion about Ruby Lawrence's case, because there's a lot more info in there that I don't.
Are you in the minutes or the agenda?
No, minutes.
Oh, we're on the agenda.
You said agenda.
Oh, did I say agenda? I'm sorry.
That's on the, that's.
Then the agenda's fine. we can move on that. Second? All right. I am, thank you. Sorry about that.
You seconded that, Robin? Yes, I did.
Robin,
I thought I saw
okay,
you.
agenda approved. All right.
Okay.
Getting ahead of myself. Trying to get to the site plan, so. Okay, if everyone could please review the minutes from January. And so my thing for the Board of Appeals, basically, since it was a Board of Appeals thing, and it was actually one of their cases for them, we should not have really anything in there persuading decision.
So why don't we say, Chairman, I mean, what's that? All we're doing is preventing. Yeah, but it's confusing myself.
Yeah.
When I read that.
Yeah. That's what
I have to apologize. Angie sent me the draft minutes for me to look over like a week ago.
The 24th.
And I was shocked. And I didn't have time to look them over then, and I put them aside, and I thought of it a number of times, but I had not gotten back to her.
See, and I wasn't sure what to put and what to not put, because.
The CEO, that's not there's something stating a determination in there, and that was all the Board of Appeals thing. I don't think that belongs in.
Okay, so what should I?
Just a Board of Appeals, discussion for Ruby Lawrence's case.
Discussion. Oh, that was just that one word. I'm so sorry. I forgot all about that.
So strike everything after the first sentence.
Yeah, basically,
Okay, hold on.
and change decision to discussion.
Regarding the words and then scratch the rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I'll turn that off after we go through this. You want me to take out, so has the Board of Appeals decision for Rudy Lawrence and
A Board of Appeals discussion
discussion rather.
regarding Ruby Lawrence.
And then take the rest of it out.
Why
Okay.
don't we say North Chairman of the Board of Appeals, Norman Gunn.
Okay.
on the, already wrote that other.
So, Board of Appeals
Chairman
Chairman,
of the Board of Appeals, Norman Gunn,
Chairman,
updated, gave an update.
yeah, he's
Update the planning board on just the appeal decision for Ruby Leonard here. And that defines what happened. Also,
Rudy Lawrenson appeal, is that what it was?
appeals, Ruby Lawrence,
Okay,
the decision of Ruby Lawrence.
okay.
So, going to the paragraph before that, I think we should, following Robert's rules, state in the beginning, after asking for nominations from the board three times, the following slate was adopted.
So would that be before elections or,
That would be,
right before the
where it
second?
says nominations for 2022,
Yeah,
after asking for nominations from the floor three times, the following slate was adopted.
or,
And then the rest of it's okay. But I want to make it clear that we did request
Right.
nominations.
oh, yeah, we requested.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, if you don't write it in the minutes, it didn't happen.
Right.
So, and Andrew, I apologize.
Oh, no, that's all right, that's fine, I totally don't, you
And
know,
then the thing on the tiny house, tiny chestnut, tiny home, the board has been informed. I don't think that's,
okay, I didn't know how to word
that's
it.
the gist of it, but
Yeah,
And it wasn't the town board that was informed, code enforcement officer
oh,
was informed.
okay, so the code enforcement.
Yeah.
Officer or CEO.
CEO.
Was notified.
Yep.
Okay, that's better. Thank you.
No, she's not for either January or February. She might be online.
So she's somebody.
Yeah, she's someplace out west.
I saw her pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, everything else looks good. Any, do I have, somebody to make a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
I, make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, thank you. All right. All right, so next, correspondence. So the Planning Federation trainings, I've sent everybody out the email. You're welcome to sign up for them. I know I am.
I have
I've heard back from Robin and Ken and you, so we're good there. Let's see, Elaine Jardine also sent out another indicator of some new trainings, and then this was in our mailbox, the winter 22 issue of Rural Futures. So I will pass that around if anyone wants to take a look. New business, Angie, your update.
I don't have any.
Great. Moving along. All right, so we have some guests from Delaware Solar tonight to discuss the project over on Prospect, 96 over there on Amon Farms. So you guys can please introduce yourself and we can start a discussion and go for a site plan.
I'm Kelly Sullivan. I am a project manager for Bergman, who was the engineer for Delaware Solar for this project.
I'm John Schmidt, Director of Delaware Solar.
So what I'll do is I'll just kind of give you like a quick overview of the project, and we have the site plan.
So you can also, as you're going through it, kind of give us indicators on what has changed from the previous, because that's really where we're going to be be focusing our,
Oh, sure, yeah.
the whole summary would be great.
So Heather,
I have a question real quick, do I need to put their names in there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can give you our.
thank you. Sorry, I'm still in training.
Okay, so Delaware River Solar is proposing to develop, construct, and operate a 4.98 megawatt AC solar system via lease agreement over approximately 4 tax parcels. So the previous one that was approved by Renova, they didn't have like a wattage and such, it was 2016, so that would have changed. The difference is it's about 5 acres smaller than what was previously approved. So ours is 5 acres smaller. The project would occupy 31.8 acres, with 30 of those acres being inside a fence line, and a total of 167 total acres of property acreage between the 4 parcels. The lot coverage for this project is around 19%. The solar panels are installed on a racking system on Kyle River Coast. The maximum height of the panels is around 10 feet. The solar facility will be surrounded by a 7-foot wire mesh perimeter fence with locking swing gates. A permeable access driveway would exit the property along Spencer Road. So we have it here. I believe where Renova's had it, they were going this way and we're either exiting here or along here on the original site plan. A similar project was proposed, obviously, Renova's in 2016, and then, so where the footprint changes, they had a rectangle going here, so that's different, we've extended it further west, but then they had occupied this area to the north as well, and we've removed that. So, instead of blocking it into 2 different sections, it's now all just one section and has expanded to west. And so that's basically the differences between it. Any questions?
I know we get into this a little bit, any interference with, the waterway over there, getting closer to wetlands or?
So we are within the buffer of, or, outside the buffer for the stream. There is, core jurisdictional wetlands here, and we're outside that for the 100-foot buffer as well.
Why was it downside?
Well, honestly, there's really no, the panels that we're using are, we were able to condense it a little bit this panel probably, I'm assuming because we're going back 6 years ago. Renova's probably had a certain wattage for the panels.
But you're still limited by what the substation.
Oh, of course, yeah, the panels themselves are more powerful, so you can use less of them. And so, yeah.
And Kelly, you said a 7-foot fence, but on the.
I know it varies. I saw it on the detail. It was like 8 foot or 7 foot and like 3 inches and 3 inches, right? That was,
No, it's a 8-foot wire mesh perimeter fence.
yeah, so
So it is a 7-foot?
usually it's 7 feet.
Yeah, usually it's 7, or but we could go up to 8. I mean, but typically it's 7, it's usually a deer fence, wire mesh.
Okay. But it's not to keep kids out.
Oh, no.
It's to keep deer,
The
wildlife.
fence allows all small animals, snakes, rabbits, raccoons, whatever it may be. They can actually get through the fence, so they can still run around with it. It just stops any
Cattle.
any major animal, any large animals from bumping into the.
I mean, kids can get into it, but
No.
they're going to destroy it if they get over it.
No, I mean, it's pretty difficult to destroy these things. I mean, it's steel racking along the panels on top, and there's the fence itself.
But it's just welded wire fence, right?
Yeah, it's a deer fence, but I mean, they have to clip it in order to get through.
Yeah, that's, I mean, they
Yeah.
destroy it to get in, either
They would have to
climb
destroy
over,
the fence to get it, 100%, yeah.
which would clearly show that they were trespassing.
Correct.
Okay, and the area where the, transformers or electronics are gonna go, are they gonna be surrounded by, chain link fence?
But now, the,
So we have, let's see, there's an equipment pad in the middle, and then I believe there is more equipment, here, but that might be temporary.
yeah, this is the landing zone, so this is the drop off zone, the middle clip would be where it is, not in the middle of the way, but it's right here.
But they will be separately fenced.
Let me just double check.
I don't think we called for that to be separate.
Yeah, typically we don't.
That,
We went through, when we were
inverters and that has to be a secure chain link fence, I mean, it's just a small, I mean, it's gonna be a small pad area.
Oh, I understand, I mean, yes,
It's probably gonna be.
Like a
20
dog
feet
fence, to be our chain link fence Texas, so
Yeah.
it's not very big yet.
with a lock on it, because in that way, that's the one area you don't want. So
With wire on top, like.
that's wasn't that what it was before? Ed?
I'm getting the,
He's looking it up.
looking it up right as
Oh, but I was pretty sure that it was wire on top.
okay,
And it was just the area where the electronics are.
understood. So our electronics typically, you have to, so any electronic panel, they are secure in the mailbox. I mean, it's sort of like, it's a lock and key, but if you want the chain, that's something that's not one.
I think that was pretty much going national electric code.
per our, solar law, all mechanical equipment, including any structure for storage batteries, shall be enclosed by a fence no less than 7 feet high, as required by the NEC standard, with a self-locking gate and signage to prevent unauthorized access.
Okay.
And I think that 7 foot allowed, that included with a wire.
Could be,
Or just.
No less than.
could be part of it.
Okay, and just so I'm clear, so typically that fence goes around the entire ring, we do have our signage, we do have all those things. Now, we're talking about the inverter pad in the middle of the ring, you would want a fence
So
around
it's
it.
separate.
Yeah,
Separate chain link fence, not a welded wire.
Yeah.
Understood,
Yep.
Yeah, the welded wire is great for around it, that sets up your perimeter and.
Yes, sir, yeah, understood.
And then you just said that also the warning signs with owner's contact information shall be placed on the entrance and perimeter of the fencing.
Yes,
So yeah, everything else does sound good.
I don't see an issue with that.
Perfect.
Yeah. The whole project, that would be,
What's that, I'm sorry?
that, if you had to do chain link around.
Oh, around the whole perimeter, yeah.
That would be very.
Yeah, we actually, at the very beginning of the program, we had 1 or 2 that were requested, but towns and particularly landowners want the deer fence simply because of the, it's less visible from the road and also the movement of any natural habitat.
No, that-
But to your request,
Thank you. Yep, go for it.
I know both of us, I can't do it much. I just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
96 feet is over here, on the other side of the creek.
Correct, yep, and this is,
The gravel pit is,
I think it's this area and maybe this area.
yeah,
here.
a good portion
Yeah.
of that fire, yeah.
it is going down the cliff, that's so.
Yeah, it goes down.
so this is 90, this is our part, 96, which I got like. Oh, okay. So really good is over in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so. So we're gonna.
I drove by earlier today, these houses are very shaded, they definitely will not see.
Mhm.
These guys will probably see a little bit, but this is also very far.
It is quite a ways out.
Yeah, because like I did notice, like if it's, like a good example is where the bus garages, yeah, the where they have theirs, that's also pretty far, and it's.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't know that.
Not unusual, you really don't see it really. Yeah,
It's out of the,
yeah,
when you drive.
it's actually helpful because it's a very good example that's right by.
And that's one thing I was pretty sure, the first time I walked the property with that, with the land. Yeah, and we said, we came from here, and as we came out, just understanding how to get of the field.
Yeah.
So the county planning board was really, had a lot of questions about viable farmland. And we tried to find that this was like marginal.
If that, because most of it's the old gravel.
Yeah, that's right. We said,
Old common ground.
told them that.
Yeah, are
One
you
of them
always
pulled
on,
up onto GPS,
yeah,
onto the, Google Earth.
are you always on those calls too?
What's that?
Are you always on those calls just for every solar project? It's the same thing.
He's
They're
on-
very
on-
pro agricultural, and it is zoned agricultural, even though it's like, I think it's just because, from a map view, it looks like it should be,
I do want to, bring up, as, we voted at our last meeting, to move this to 239 review ahead of our site plan review. I will read the, response from, Elaine Jordan from, county. So pursuant to Article 12B, Section 239M of the New York State General Municipal Law, the Cuyahoga County Planning Board has reviewed the case at their January 19th meeting and could not carry the vote for recommendation on 239 referral case, resulting in a non-action. Therefore, the town of Candor is free to act without prejudice. And then goes on further to explain that the vote was 5 in favor, 2 against, 2 absent, and 1 abstain.
So it was 5 to 5, the tie, and
Therefore a non-action. So we are free to move forward if we so decide. Also, submitted, and heard back from the Department of Transportation. So the, the Department of Transportation, will require a PERM 33 COM highway work permit from New York State DOT prior to the commencement of any work within the state right of way. All new or existing driveway openings shall be designed and constructed or reconstructed in accordance with New York State Department of Transportation policy and standards for the design of entrance of state highways. And the applicant will be required to submit a drainage study prepared by a licensed engineer for New York State Department review of highway work as part of the highway work permit application.
that's from DOT. Are you
That
putting
is
in
from
a new
DOT.
for driveway? Or are you reusing an existing farm?
I think it's new, there isn't a culvert there.
I'll show you something real quick, yeah. The last time, to work on the street down here,
Yeah.
to be honest, I can't remember if there was a pump back there.
And then if there's not, you basically, what he just said is you're gonna have to go through the state,
Yeah,
Understood.
follow, and, yeah, I'm sure you don't.
yeah. It's a lengthy permit that I have to fill out.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
So, one of the other points that the county was concerned about was,
Decommissioning plan, which is
decommissioning.
what I was just about to get into.
Okay.
So, Delaware River Solar has submitted a decommissioning plan for the facility. And so that is available for review as
So
well.
one of the things that wasn't specifically in there, we usually couldn't find it on that Wednesday night, was we were told that Delaware River Solar actually gives at the current market value, the cost of that decommissioning to the town to hold in account for decommissioning. And I remember that you agreed agreed to that. Is that, how do we set that up? And,
Well,
Lawyers.
The decommissioning plan that was presented, have you had time to take a look at it?
I opened it and passed it on to everyone. Our code enforcement officer has sent it. This is the decommissioning plan from November 19th of 2021.
Roughly, how long do you expect the solar farm to be viable?
Well, our lease is at least 30 years. If you're asking from a panel perspective, the panel is good for 45.
So in 30 years, you will reevaluate whether or not it.
So 30 years is an option to extend. If it's got to be mutually agreed upon, the landowner decides not to do it, then decommissioning will happen. And then removal, whether it's for recycling or solar or secondary market. That is, these panels, still have a good lifetime. For 15 years, if you can get them for 15 more years, you can do secondary market page, islandation, termination.
Yeah, somebody up in Alaska was got a a road.
100%, yeah, and even after that 15 years, they still can produce. It's just,
Yeah, even if they're producing 50%, it's still better, it's free electricity.
So I do have a question. I do know and I have read that the solar panels are very toxic. And if they get broke or when you have to decommission or something, they're very toxic. And what do you do with them? How do you, say one, for some reason, ungodly reason, they break? Does someone go in there and check every solar panel on those every year? Because the toxins from a broken solar panel are very, very dangerous.
well, I can tell you, there's a lot of information that's out there. Some correct, some incorrect.
Right.
The main thing about the panels, especially the ones that we use, there's no liquid parts. There's nothing that can seep, there's nothing that can leak out. These are silicon-based panels that are encased in glass and steel. So, with regards to toxins and things of that nature, there's nothing leaking into the ground, seeping into the ground. You can hold on,
There's no liquids in there.
oh, zero, yeah.
Not like the old.
No.
Right, well, I know that, I heard of a solar company,
Sure.
and they do have some liquids, and with that, if something breaks, it's
Yeah.
toxic. I've got grandkids that I want to grow up.
No,
In this
understood.
area that I don't want to have
No,
to leave them with
understood,
that.
and it's a valid concern. I 100% assure you that the panels and anything within the array, there is literally, especially for the solar panel for racking, like I said, no moving part, unless, in some cases, there are systems that do track, and with the sun, that would be, so there's a mechanical motor that will track, but otherwise, the panel makeup themselves, there is zero liquid. There is no seepage. And even if, say a hurricane or something was to come through, if some panels were broken, these panels are monitored by a pretty sophisticated system, so down to, if there was one that was cracked or wasn't producing, someone's there the next day to work on that. But with our panels, you don't have to worry about liquids or anything like that. We don't want to.
About maintenance of the land, as the, grass and stuff's gonna grow anywhere, is there
It's a priority. We have, so typically the way we work, we actually have in-house, overhead operations maintenance. So the system is not only monitored up from off-site, but the only time, folks would come is for any particular maintenance, but also 3 or 4 times a year for the mall. And that's within the fence line as well as outside the fence line. So everything will be weed whacked and trimmed and, yeah.
thank you.
Anything that overgrows, we essentially shape the system, so we.
Right.
we have-
That's a lot of money.
We even have sheep control system.
So on page 36 and 37,
Can you
line,
know them, or is that what you're talking about?
on your plan, yes. Line number 762. The decommissioning plan shall also include estimated decommissioning costs. And at the county meeting, you told us that was based on, you can't predict in the future what it's gonna be. It might be high or low, but you're gonna base it on if it had to happen today. Okay? So is that included here? And the other thing I have is on the next page, 774. It talks about the manufacturer. Module manufacturers are required to pay an amount for recycling modules at the end of its useful life when they sell the modules. So the main component of the installation has covered its cost of recycling. So that's, again, alluding to the thing that we talked about before. How do we put this in place, and what's the dollar amount? And I assume the town gets the money, and they really can't spend it. It's kind of like set aside.
It's gonna go in the
Special
budget.
account. It's gonna go to a escrow account. All right, and then when the time comes, if it's needed, then they use it. If not, it probably goes back to you guys.
Yeah, the escrow account, I mean, at some point, the system will be decommissioned. So.
Yeah,
so
okay, so
when that
eventually,
day- Yeah, when that day comes, that money's there.
but if recycling, if all of a sudden that commodity, that material becomes so precious that, you know, it's not gonna cost me, you know, you're gonna have a plethora of extra money in decommissioning.
Yeah.
That money in the escrow now belongs to you.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanna make that,
I would-
put it in my head.
I would assume that we're holding it, and when they
Take it.
say that we're gonna decommission, it's gonna be one of those when we get started on halfway through it. I'm sure the money will be we won't be here at that point.
Yeah, that's all legal.
And regarding, remember one thing too, the decommissioning, regardless if it's recycled or sold on the secondary market, it needs to be taken from the property. So that is what that money is for, period. So once remove of the panels, the inverter, the pad, unit, the fence, and,
The fence could probably be up to the landowner at that point.
yeah, I mean, it's, sure, you know, but the removal of that system from the ground and from the property. So that's what that decommissioning and part of our contract, is, just so you know, I mean, the part of the information would be, is to try to bring that property. Yeah, clean it up and bring it up to, bring it up to the current. So, with regards to your first question, the numbers are the back of the decommissioning.
Yep. There are, I don't know, if you saw the latest hearing.
Okay, and it's two.
They kind of added there.
So this dollar amount right there, 262, 600.
Well, 145. That's the after 30 years.
Okay.
So after 30 years, if they get 262, $250,000, then they only spend 125, and
Well, that's,
that goes back to the Christmas party fund.
Believe it or not, it takes, you know, almost 3 months to put the system up. And in some cases, you know, 2 to 3 months, in some cases, maybe a little longer, to remove them. It's very fast. It's a very quick process.
Oh, yeah, no,
Once the guys get in there, then, because we're not, you know, there's no real major excavation there,
no,
and that's the beauty of it.
and all the cables, or do all the wires go to conduits?
Yeah, there are conduits and as well as, so all major lines are.
Right. But the very last one, the conduit, they just get an excavator, rip them out, excavate, after all the panels rust, an excavator pull the pipes out of the ground. What you can sell, you sell, what you can't, you scrap. Yeah, no, I can believe it, probably get the whole thing cleaned up in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'll time you.
What is your, anticipated, start and, completion date?
Right now, I believe, I mean, obviously, if we move forward here,
You ain't gonna do nothing till spring.
we're not doing it, and believe it or not, we do build in the winter, we're not right now, but we were able to finish all our builds before the end of the year. But I would imagine if things move forward, this would be a spring build. And then typically from the start of construction for a system of this size, they're looking at 3.5 months top.
So about midsummer should be
Yeah.
prime operation time.
Yeah, this is,
Well, they think April to like mid-July, is when it breaks and.
yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Now, will it be like solar farms we've dealt with or in the past where it's going to be sold or are the panels up for sale to?
Oh, so the program that we're doing, community solar, okay, so once these are installed, this isn't going to one particular entity, it's not like a PPA or something like that. This is part of the community solar program that, the former governor put in place. So essentially, once this is built and connected to the grid, this power, then people can sign up at no cost and they'll see that. So, and essentially what happens is, for folks that don't want solar on their property, can't afford it, don't want it on their roof, whatever they do,
Right.
this program, this gets installed, once if people can start signing up, as soon as the system is, pretty much on our website, once we get the but once signed up and the system is turned on, people get an energy credit on their, night system. And it's about 10% roughly off their monthly electricity. That goes, we mark first to local, you can do small businesses, municipalities, everybody who has a qualifying NYSEG meter, whether it's on their house, their barn, their small business, the municipal building, the school, they can sign up.
We can all sign up. But the panels aren't gonna be for sale.
No,
Okay, cause
that's another form.
Yeah,
we've dealt with other ones and, cause that's, I'm in that boat. I love solar, but I don't want it on my roof. I don't want it in my backyard. I don't wanna look at it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to convince my wife to buy enough solar panels so that
Well,
we don't have an electric bill.
well, the thing is different here, is so like a lot of those were advertised, and they started mostly in the Midwest, and then they, in Colorado, California, came out to Massachusetts, and they were advertised often as solar gardens, or solar, it was a form of community solar. But essentially, you would buy the necessary number of panels that would equate to the power you need for your house. In this case, it's, we get your meters, and you will get allocated a certain amount of power based on your energy use. But the one thing that's for certain is that each meter that gets a bill, that bill will see a 10% discount.
So would you have to leave NYSEG to do this? No.
Would I have to what?
It's through night.
It's through NYSEG, and we're partnered with the utility.
When I see things like that, it's almost like they want us to take a different distributor.
It does look like that, because I have that currently in my house in Appalachian, and you have to opt in. You just tell them, I want to opt in, and it does look kind of weird, you're like, wait a minute, am I, is this a new provider, is this, but you have to tell them you can opt in, and it just goes straight to your NYSEG bill.
Yeah.
So, and you can opt out at any point too, so if you're like, the savings is nice, really,
Oh,
we're whatever, like,
any
opt
savings
out,
that they
but-
give you is better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly, I'll take 1%.
Will we be notified, or
What's that?
how will we be notified?
So they usually, so it's online and you should get a mailer. It's working, I guess, I know, they do
Yeah.
multiple.
And I actually we did a lot of work with the utility to create one billing system. Because when the system went, GA Solar first passed in the beginning of 2016, it was double with two bill systems. So now the one bill system is started. And essentially, what you'll get is now your NYSEG bill with a notation of your energy credit. You'll see it.
And that credit
Yeah.
is only on your electrical usage, doesn't do anything for your transmission.
Correct.
And one last question while it's in my mind. If we're already getting something that we registered for, we still rent it,
Can you do another
yeah,
community solar?
or do you know if they have a limit?
In this case, no, this is something that, Cindy heads up our customer department. I'll leave you my card, I'll check on that for you directly, yeah. I think there's a chance we can.
Because I think my wife registered for one,
Is it one of ours, or is it?
no, I don't think it's Delaware. But we're in NYSEG and,
Yeah,
I just built a house that moved in a year and a half ago.
understood. Well, how many meters do you have at the property? Okay,
And from that meter, it's on a standalone,
understood, yeah.
and then from there, I go to my house, and I go from there to my shop, so I have 1 meter.
Okay, so I'm guessing the answer is probably gonna be no, since you're already in the NYSEG system. But I'll double check. I'll leave my card.
Plus, it doesn't hurt to try.
No, of course not.
The most they can say is, no, you can't.
You could actually go home tonight, if you wanted to go on our website and this is something, on our website, we have all the projects, so we've done projects all over the state. For projects that are available that we're currently taking sign-ups for. So essentially, for this project, you'll see it marketed initially to local residents of the town, so on and so forth. So then the website will open up, we can't fill it locally, we can go, if the program's all.
Then you can go from the town
You can
to
go,
the
Yeah, good, county to the neighboring county to the next zone. So but it's a very simple thing. So if you have your NYSEG account number, you can actually just put your name, NYSEG account number in, and see what happens.
Okay. She does the basic stuff.
Yeah. And since we're the ones building it, we're talking directly to it, that's something that we can work on directly together.
Any further questions about the project? Okay, then, just, I need a motion to, approve or disapprove.
I will make a motion that we approve the Delaware.
I think we need to go through the secret process, though, before
We-
we do the site plan approval. Just,
We've done it backwards.
no, it's
but,
okay. So my question is, did you guys declare lead agency and notify the involved agencies? Did you send out the letters? So,
We've never, in any of the projects, we've always just been the lead agency. We've never
Okay, yeah.
actually sent
Okay.
out,
If we were close to the central line,
right,
we would
Then we
certainly
would.
do that.
so,
Uh,
so because this is a type one, it needs to have, public hearing. So what typically we
this
would
is
do.
definitely a type one.
Yeah, this is a type one. So what typically would happen is, and if you want, we can write these letters for you and send them out on your behalf to this is like the ag, ag market.
Yep, yep.
DEC, they get these letters saying that you're gonna be the involved, the lead agency.
Okay.
Do they concur? They get 30 days to say yes or no. I've never had them say that they don't agree.
Yeah.
And then after 30 days, we would then come back to you guys, have a public hearing, and then you would do this, the next act, and then like.
Okay, so that
That
would be a wonderful help.
Do
You
that.
didn't mention it beforehand, so
No,
it's,
it's okay.
good to do, yeah, now we, us little, towns, we don't get many, bigger projects. so-
And you, this is very common, that's kind of how it goes.
Great, yeah, so, if you could just, help us in, getting the letters and, getting them submitted, copy, me on that, we can, so, would the, we would be able to hold a public hearing at our, because it'll be more than 2 weeks before these letters.
So some places will do it where they'll say that they want, because of COVID, it makes things very hard. People can either email or call in questions for you guys to consider.
Well, we do have, we also are always broadcasting live.
If it's live on there, so they give people options rather than coming in person because, people want people to come in person. So, that's usually how they do it. I don't know what your rules are for advertising.
Yeah, we have to post a sign on our town hall, and, Angie will have, you, tell, Carol to, please post in the, local paper, that there'll be a, public hearing for the, solar project, at our March meeting.
What's the date for that? Just so that I can make sure.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because it's February, it's only gonna be, quote, 28 days away.
Yeah. Usually I hear back from everybody that DEC usually gives me like this, they like to push that 30 days.
Would you rather move to make it April,
I mean, I don't-
just to be on the safe side?
On the legal side, that's what I'm more concerned about.
I mean,
Yeah, it
We
would
don't
be,
give the
Yeah,
30
we do.
days, someone can complain afterwards and notify.
yeah, because it would be less than 30, it would be, 28 days, because, yeah, March 1st is a Tuesday.
so could you say, like, could you do the approval pending, any comments coming in late? Because I don't know how people word it legally, but.
Yeah, we never had one, but you never know.
Windmill,
Yeah. The 30-day thing is the lead agency notification letters,
Yeah,
but I will get those out tomorrow.
Okay.
And,
we can do much, I mean, yeah, it's up to you.
yeah, and I can post the DEC to hopefully get them to do that.
Okay.
It's
All right,
really
then,
Could we have it presented at the town board meeting? Or would that be bad?
that would
Never mind.
totally mess things up. Yeah.
So April is what we're going for?
I think we're gonna still shoot for March 1st, as long as we can, as long as everything gets out, it's just a formality that
Yeah.
February is the shorter month. But with the availability of submitting questions to our email, through our YouTube, or up to a certain limit, you have to contact Carol to show up, to be present at the town hall the night of the meeting.
Would you like us to fill out the part 2 and 3 of the seeker as well?
Part 2, certainly, if you want to do that. Part 3, we usually fill in the paragraph area, but
Yeah.
if you have any, comments ahead of that, you can certainly. Much obliged.
Yeah. that helps.
Date will be April 6th.
Yeah, that'd be a while away. Alright, so at our
Thank you.
March meeting, we'll do the public hearing. And we will have somebody showing up. But we follow protocol.
So we're gonna be happy.
All right, any other questions? We will then hold on our March 1st meeting at 7 p.m., the public hearing for the Delaware project, the solar facility on Spencer Road, and all lead agencies, letters will be sent out. Yeah,
We'll have those out tomorrow.
do them, and
Well,
we got 'em already.
you and the code enforcement.
Yeah, please. Please. Yeah. And of course, if we have any questions, we'll be sure to let you know. All right, any further questions?
Have you already met our new code enforcement officer?
I spoke to him on the phone, but I haven't.
He is very new, but he is learning. He just started earlier in the year on January 6th, I believe was his first day. But he is working with one of our previous code enforcement officers from the town to get up to speed on everything. So,
It's a pretty straightforward code you guys have.
yeah.
No worries.
And it's a very straightforward project too, so it's, it's already good, so that's good.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us?
I just have one more thing, I'm gonna leave you, I'd like to leave you a business card and likely everyone, but if you have any particular questions about the makeup, toxicity, anything like that, and family concerns, just send it to me directly.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind just filling this all business.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
That would be great.
I'd like it to, that way I can read your name, because my handwriting is fine.
You don't have to try to pronounce my last name.
Oh, yeah? You never know. Thank you very much.
Certainly appreciate you coming tonight, to get the process moving, and,
Are you local, John?
I'm actually, split my time between Sullivan County, so we have offices in, Manhattan, Sullivan County, and Rochester. So I'm all over.
And thank you.
You said Appalachian?
Well, I have Hudson Appalachian and we live in Drexel, so, yeah.
I grew up in Appalachian.
And I live there. Do you go very often? We go to lunch all the time.
Oh.
Oh, lovely,
I
yes.
love
What about the
The Cantor's pretty cool. It was neat watching them renovate that, yeah.
Because they
My
have
father's
just the
side
sound
is-
looks so
so-
good.
And it's a fun place to go to watch music, so,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, my wife's father was one of the original members of the Appalachian Fire Department when Bud started.
Okay.
So he's one of the, they call him the Rat Pack. So, yeah, I've been going to Bud since.
Yeah. Yeah, we go there all the time for date night. It's like, I don't know, there's tons of Italian places, but it's just, that's so good, so we go there.
Yeah, well, you look at how he's expanded over the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Didn't someone else just buy that?
Really?
No.
No? What am I thinking
His
of?
son owns it now,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's still there when you go there. He's still there, like,
Sure.
Good, very, very teaching.
No, it's Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, I worked at Gettysburg in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Really? Oh, cool.
Before the show, yeah.
Neat.
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you again,
Okay.
have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much.
See you next month.
Yep.
I saw the Irish Brigade, and I
Oh,
saw the
no.
bird, and I said, she's wearing my little dog t-shirt.
All right, moving on, so, I already kind of gave a little bit of the update, so, Health Hub, has been notified about that, project off of Prospect Valley, and also the, large gathering center that went in everybody's, advertisements over the, holiday. They're having a big New Year's party, we had no record of them as even a business.
Where was this one at? I didn't get.
Oh, it was a
Tom
huge
Hill.
barn.
Yeah,
It's a
come on.
beautiful,
Isn't it
beautiful barn venue, and I
That's it.
think it's, on Anderson.
Anderson.
Hill?
Yep. So, yeah, it's a
And-
brand new barn,
Yeah.
fully renovated, and we had nothing on it from what I knew.
And I think he's
from what-
on, I think he's on it, I think Paul is looking at it.
Yeah.
Because today when I went to look at his computer, he had the website up.
Yep,
So
yep.
he's,
Yeah, he is looking
Yeah.
into the, and because as he's driving around, he's also finding things.
Because Anderson Road, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of a switchover. I think part of it, town of Candor, part of town of Tioga. Kind of.
no.
Town of Tioga, because this side of Turner's Bridge is town of Tioga.
Just past,
Oh, okay, yeah.
just past the David,
Yeah, I was gonna say, how,
356 Anderson.
how did they get insurance without?
Well, they probably had the, health department go in and do their inspection. Because, we have to have the health department come in, and I'm not sure if they're gonna be food there, I have no idea, but I'm assuming they are. So they probably had the health department come in and do some of the inspection.
Maybe they didn't want to hear that.
So that was going to, I'm assuming, which you know what that is,
But, I mean, if there was any renovation.
yeah.
Yeah, and we don't know the story again behind any of this, so that's why, Paul is looking into it. So next, updates of the Uniform Building Code law. So as I mentioned, at our last meeting, that, the town board had contacted our attorney about the Board of Appeals decision. And this is what we received. So, upon review of the packet of documents sent to you by the CEO, as well as relevant and local laws, it is my conclusion that the Board of Appeals does have the authority to make the determination that was made. However, indeed, the town of Candor law expressly provides the Board of Appeals shall have the powers to appellate, I didn't even know that was a word, review any order, requirement, decision, or determination made by the code enforcement officer in the administration and enforcement of state law. Such order, requirement, decision, or determination shall include, but are not limited to, building permits and certificates of occupancy, is what they want added.
Okay.
So, that way it goes to the state. Anything dealing with, such order, requirement, decision, or determination shall include, but are not limited to, building permits or certificates of occupancy. Certificates of occupancy and building permits are a state issue under the building code law.
Certificate of compliance is not.
Don't know, this is what the attorney said, this is what they would like us to add into our law.
So we're revising the law to clear up any ambiguity and have it revert back to the state.
Yeah. We're amending it, so basically, the, Board of Appeals is not put in that position again, to make a determination on something that really could have been part of, it could have gone a number of ways, and there could have been a lot of outside issues, if somebody appealed, I don't know.
How about we say so it follows state law?
No.
Okay.
Or
No,
amending
it's
our
not state law.
So we're amending our town law.
That's what I meant.
We're amending
We're
the
amending-
town law so that the state is notified.
So what I will do with, the board's permission, I will, go in and, do an update of the law and print the section out, because I'm not printing out the whole law, for our next meeting, and we can vote on it then, move it to the town board, have them do a public hearing, and move.
And say, following our town attorney's recommendation.
That's just stuck in my head, yeah.
And it's actually not our town, it wasn't our town attorney, it's, Coughlin Gerhardt, I mean, we contract, we have, our attorney works for them, but could not get involved due
Okay.
to a conflict of interest.
Okay, following attorney's recommendation, we are amending,
Yes.
town, amending, I'm
The
sorry,
Uniform Building Code law
uniform building code law.
to include
State notification.
state statements.
To include the,
Statement of the,
It's weird that they don't say certificates of compliance, because that was what they were dealing with, was a certificate of compliance.
Yeah, but they made it more general, that when it deals with any of those areas.
and there is more. It also says, while it is true that under state law, such a board's jurisdiction is not this broad, Town Law 267A4 provides that the Board of Appeals jurisdiction can be expanded by local law or ordinance, which is what the town has done here. In short, the Board of Appeals acted well within its jurisdiction to reverse the decision of the CEO, require that the COC be reissued, and further advise that a stop work order be issued until such a time that Mr. Lawrence obtained proper building permit for the new construction.
Did the demo happen?
I have no idea. That is not
Not our problem.
Not our problem.
Well, normally, we used to get a sheet, like, every couple months, that told us, new building permit.
Yeah, and Paul being so new is just getting under the ropes. I was going to have, in fact, I talked to him on the phone a little bit earlier today in regards to the solar. But I am going to reach out to him and invite him to attend our meetings, as Jim Douglas has in the past.
Yeah.
To even, maybe not necessary for every meeting, but if there is a site plan or if there is anything new for updates. Yep. So, give him that chance, and I don't know if it falls within his hours, or even if we can Zoom him or something, like, just to have access, because I do want to have an open relationship with our code enforcement officer. I feel it's very important.
Yeah, Robert can now get some more trailers on his car. Now that I'm not gonna say it because it's live.
Okay, next, the town board has given us the mission of writing a town handbook. Emergency operations plan. No, Jim Douglas handed me a draft of what they've done, or what he's done, I believe, already. Now, looking back on my records, it kind of clicked a reminder that Bill Leonard at one point wrote, and I included that in an email sent out to the board earlier today. I have not looked at what Bill has and what the town has as yet. I'm not sure if an emergency operations plan is different than the town handbook that Bill wrote, but maybe we can marry the two together and have a guidance for the town. for all employees.
With supervisors, we made emergency plan. So you might
that's
try to
what
hunt
Jim
that.
started with, I think.
What's that?
I think Jim started with that.
Probably, he might have modified it since then.
And I think what Bill Leonard wrote was an employee handbook.
Yeah, you're right.
An employee handbook.
Because to me, in my mind, a handbook is explains vacation, sick
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
and it's different than an emergency plan.
exactly, that was my question.
Yeah.
To me, that's two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a new, it's required under New York State Executive Law, Article 2B. So we are going to focus on the emergency operations plan, but I swore that and what I guess I misspoke, what Bill did write a handbook, but I swear in there he also had emergency operations.
So, and the town,
So,
they want us to work on the handbook or the emergency?
the emergency operations,
Yeah, okay.
so emergency operations.
Because it would seem that a handbook would come more from the town board.
And that's where it originated, when Bill was on there, so. But, like I said, I believe he had emergency operations as part of that, so I want to just mirror, so we're not working twice.
This emergency plan, is this something that's going to direct and focus like the town supervisor on what he should do on like a flood, major fire?
Basically, it talks about who's essential, who's non-essential, gets into,
Okay.
work capabilities during natural disasters, who needs to be around protective equipment.
Who needs to be
A
notified?
lot of it's COVID related, I'm not
I
gonna
could
lie.
people up.
So I sent this out to everybody, you could please review this for your, for either the next meeting, or we can hold a, I know it's February, and, I know a lot of people are still doing things, but if we want to have a workshop, we can start that at a workshop, I leave that to the board to make that decision. Otherwise, we can do that at our next meeting. We have a lot more comments.
I hate to rain on your parade, but if we had a workshop, it would be on a Monday, followed by the first Tuesday.
It's 2 days ago.
Yeah, no, let's not do that.
Yeah,
Unless the board wants to, I don't.
2 days in a row would be kind of.
Yeah, a little too much, I agree. All right, so then let's plan to review this at our next meeting.
You're gonna send it to everyone?
I already did.
Okay.
I sent it earlier today.
How many pages is it? Oh, God, okay.
In other words, you have to get it printed out.
34, I believe.
Okay. Well, I've been buying both ink cartridges, so. I've been buying the big ink cartridges.
I will verify that it is what I sent, because this was handed to me by Jim Douglas, but he also sent me a thumb drive, and I'm almost positive that I dragged the file from the thumb drive to the email, so I will verify that if,
You sent me the emergency last year, that's what I have.
Okay.
And then the other thing is,
was Bill's,
okay.
Yeah.
Employee manual,
Yeah.
okay.
so both of them are there, okay, perfect. So we'll review that at our next meeting.
And then that one.
Okay, next, so, this was interesting to hear, good thing. Cornell Cooperative Extension, is discussing conceptual plans to house ag students at their farm that they built in Candor. So they will give farm plots to students, they will provide housing, and it'll be a full-time education for them. So they will be working, I advised them to come to, a meeting, or I didn't advise them, the person that contacted me said they advised them, sorry, to come to a planning board meeting, to discuss ideas. Right now it is just conceptual, they're trying to work through, grants and other things. But as things move forward, when they start to actually get to the point where things are coming to reality, they are gonna come to us.
About a month or two ago, I heard on the radio that they have the land already in Canada.
Oh, yeah, they,
Donated
They have
for
Yeah.
purpose, so
Yeah.
it's something that's going to happen.
Where is this location?
Stuff off, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, the old Schumacher farm.
Yeah, they, the old shoe microphone, and then this woman had built a big horse arena and had, horses, stabled up there.
Right, and they're looking to rent out the
And
stable.
they are renting, looking to rent, that's what I was looking for, they're looking to rent out the stables now.
I thought it was a shame they didn't say it was related to that project.
They didn't, and that's why I said, where's this, so I picked it up and I went up there, because I rode up there once with my cousin, and it's the same place.
Yeah, it was a shame that they didn't say that that was what it was for, that was
And
who it was from.
then they plan to have a working farm with.
Yeah,
Plots that the students can grow what they want and learn how to work the land, learn how to take care of animals. So basically try to bring agriculture back as an actual, not hobby, but an actual job,
So
career.
are these going to be ag students, or are these just going
So that's what I wrote.
Oh, well, that's-
I don't know all the details.
Okay.
This is what I was told, so, I was just given a quick, hey, heads up. This is,
Because when you first said it, I pictured, you know, like, students enrolled in the ag department, but if they're gonna have them there so they can grow plots, and they're not gonna have time to do their own plots if they're doing their studies.
yeah, no, from what I understand, it would be, you know, like full-time
To work.
education there.
Like an internship or a,
Kind of.
whatever that other.
They
word
did
is.
it in Owego, from what I heard,
Yeah.
but then they moved, now that they moved here, they wanna really scale it up. So. All right, new grants. So I was on the state grants website, and a lot of new grants have been put in there, and they've given heads up on when they would be due.
Holy cow.
Some of them going into 2023, 2024.
Wow.
So I am in the process of kind of going through them. Unfortunately, they are all renewable energy related. But one of them that I did find that I think would work is small town electric vehicle project. I haven't gotten all the details. I'm still in the process.
Well, electric golf carts for everyone?
It's kind of like, if you've been in downtown Ithaca by the Trader Joe's, all the Tesla, terminals that are there. It's similar to that, except it goes into what they refer to as a town location. And by looking that up, that could be a town hall, that could be a gathering area. Well, we got both right here. We got our pavilion and the town hall. So if the state wants to pay to put them in and also pay for the electricity that it utilizes.
And it's car charging.
Yeah, they're car charging stations.
Yeah,
Who are we to stop them? So it might be something, just to put our hat in the ring and say, hey, you can use the money.
We don't know where our future's gonna be.
Right.
We don't know how many people are gonna purchase them, so.
Yeah.
That's
it seems like it would be, I don't know, versus putting them here or putting, I'm thinking, I don't know if I want them by punks, but.
Yeah.
Cause my brother has a Tesla, and he told me that the charging stations that they put like at rest stops are a pain, because there's nothing to do.
Mhm.
He says, you sit in your car, you get a book, and we go out and read. He says, if you have something you can go do.
I think that's part of owning an electric vehicle, that you know, if you need to charge, you're gonna sit. Although the new ones, are such high energy, they claim they could recharge. The latest one that I saw being produced by Tesla, and I can't imagine the heat that the fucker generates, but it claims that it can fill one of their largest vehicles, which I think is the X, or the Y type,
Is that what used to be called?
maybe
35 minutes?
5 to 10.
Wow.
I know.
From less than 5% charge.
You know, they have different rates, but you pay for them with your credit card. Yeah, but my background is in electrical engineering
Right.
and technology. Yeah, you dump that much power in,
Capacitors on that thing.
well, no, not the capacitors, the cells, because they're not, the capacitors don't do that, that's not for, but the amount of amperage you gotta put into that,
Oh, yeah.
you are creating a lot of heat.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can only imagine the amount of heat that it would do.
Think about your cell phone, when you
Yeah.
plug it in and it's low, and it's not at night where it's gonna go to night mode, where it's charged over 6 hours or 7. And you plug it in at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it thinks that you want it charged quickly, you go back and pick it up in 20 minutes, it's like warm
It's hot, yeah.
or hot, yeah. And cars, oh,
I can imagine. All right, so that's, just to give an update, there are a lot of new grants that are popping up there. I am kind of going through them, but I am looking for infrastructure. That's what I've been driving on.
Before we go on, I just realized we did not make a motion and vote about the public hearing.
no, we tabled it.
Oh, I thought we were, okay, so we don't,
tabled it until we have the public hearing.
no, but I'm saying we didn't make, do we have to make a motion to have the public hearing?
It's part of the law, so
Okay.
part of procedure.
Okay, second,
No problem.
still learning.
All right, under old business, so I mentioned, Rob mentioned the last meeting with my, my stuff, the, Build America Act twenty 21. So as part of that, I sent to the town board, 2 weeks ago, there was an interactive survey sent out on telecommunications, to try to find who's got proper telecommunications in sub-areas like Candor. So Tioga County was given that by the state. I sent it to them, and, as of this morning, Bill sent me an email and said that they filled it out. So, with that being said, since they're moving ahead on the telecommunications, I'm going to guess they're also gonna be moving ahead on the water and sewer. So, as I see that, I will pass that on to our town board and have them fill that information out. Because even though it states clean water is the big thing, and it's getting rid of lead pipes, well, in many of our, we don't even have it. But, we don't have clean water in a lot of our wells and aquifers either. And that's also part of the program. So that would move us towards water and sewer. That the feds will pay for.
Someone informed me that the village is getting the water system done this year.
Who?
Someone informed me that the village of Candor is getting the water system updated this year.
Really?
They've already been updating it.
No, complete update.
Oh, maybe. I know that upstate, up in, I already told you about this, up in Sandy Creek, and Sandy Pond, they actually they're putting in the fire hydrants in the water on all the roads.
Yeah.
Even rural.
And that's the big push. The fire hydrants are the big thing.
Yeah.
To be able to have fire hydrants on back roads and well, especially the main roads, but back roads as well. So it'll make,
Cause I got approached to replace this with the dirt.
oh, really?
Yeah, cause anything you dig out of the road, you can't put back.
Right.
It has to go back with crushed stone. So, and I said, I'll take everything that I can sit.
Yeah?
So,
Okay. Well, we'll check into that. Thank you for that update. I already said about the tiny chestnut tiny homes and the beautiful barn venues. Those have already been talked about. I already talked about Association of Towns, virtual conference. That's all I got.
I like this.
Does anyone have anything else?
just a question, so Mr. Thompson's gonna go check out the beautiful barn venue and tiny chestnut homes to see if.
He's looking, from what, Jim Douglas told me, he's looking into it, so I don't know.
Okay.
I would assume that would mean he's gonna show up and
Well,
do
yeah.
some snooping.
Tiny chestnut home, I mean, it seems like we should have known about it.
Yeah, and it was advertised, I mean, you know.
Same thing about beautiful barn venue, you wanna have something that big.
And they advertised.
Well, they advertised, and that's how I found about the tiny, well, he forwarded that to me, so I went up and checked it out, and there's just this one little tiny drain, and then all these little trees that have been planted down there.
5,000 plus.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, and when we went up there and looked at it, like, oh, I see a septic issue right here. So.
The large scale solar, Jim Douglas told me that he already knew that was against the law.
So what?
The large scale solar system that he has up there.
Oh,
Did I knew or Jim Douglas knew?
Jim Douglas, when it was brought to his attention, Jim was looking at it, he goes, yeah, that right there already, it says that it's built for this many homes, well, that's against our law.
well, I didn't even see it. I didn't see that at all. Is there,
Yeah, there's pictures on the website of the solar panel.
Oh, there's solar panels.
okay, I didn't see the solar panels.
Are they his or are they generic?
Yeah, they.
No, they're his, he bought them from.
For this project.
For Novus, he put like $50,000 into it, I think, something, got the amount
So
of it.
it sounds like this guy isn't trying to swindle us, he's
No.
just not.
He just
aware.
doesn't know the
He just doesn't know the
process.
process.
He doesn't
So
have a
he needs someone
process,
else
Yeah.
to help him through
Yeah.
this.
and he wants to be, he wants to give back, wants to be
Yeah.
sustainable.
And I have no problem with that, we'll, and that's why the code enforcement officer will work with them to get things figured out.
Do it legal so that when people have loans for like insurance for their
Right.
homes and stuff, they don't run into a legal issue.
Right.
All we ask is that people just come to us and ask, and that's
Well,
our big.
I think part of it is that people don't know, because they think it's a small town and they don't think it's, we're not zoned, so, and I just think that they don't know. I mean, there are some people that do know and do
But
everything.
as Ken said, if that Anderson address is in Tioga, town of Tioga, then they have no
And we
land
know,
rules at all.
Right.
Tioga or Town of Weaver?
Town of Tioga,
we
Canton
Tioga.
abuts us and becomes Tioga,
When
until
you,
you get down to
when
30.
you come over Turner's Bridge,
Uh-huh,
this side of the creek is the town of Tioga.
oh, really?
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting.
Until you get to Candor, and then it goes to town of Candor.
Interesting, you wouldn't have thought that.
No, you wouldn't have, but it
I
follows,
understand,
it follows a Weagle Creek.
Oh,
All the way
okay.
to the way
That
in,
makes
that's town of Tioga.
that makes sense.
And then, one last
You learned
thing,
something new.
well, first we gotta make a vote that we will be canceling our February, workshop.
I'll make a motion that the February workshop is curtailed, canceled.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. And then, one last thing before we, adjourn, does anybody know the Apple Garden in town? Chelsea Apple Garden is, going to be opening a, Coffeehouse Bakery on Main Street. So it's out of our jurisdiction, it's in the village, but, to bring to everyone's attention, her plans of opening is, April. So we're,
Coffeehouse Bakery.
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 Yeah.
So,
That can be by the store.
it's gonna be right across the street.
Jeannie's.
It was that the hobby, place, it's in there.
Oh, sold store, yeah.
It's in the hobby store or in the old beauty parlor?
Old beauty parlor.
It's a very beauty parlor.
Kazan, the costume Kazan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, got it. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's in Jean's old place.
Yeah, that I knew.
And apparently somebody bought the other place to the left of it, and they're planning on doing something in their business, but I don't know what that is.
This is where the,
Old lawyers.
Yeah,
old lawyers are.
yeah, yeah.
Because when that sold, there was a lot of people talking about the problems with the septic back there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the whole village is like that.
Yeah, and this is again, why we need infrastructure so businesses can move in and do things. But anyway, that's essentially. All right,
Are you done?
that's all I
I
got.
have a question.
You better figure it out.
Town board approved up to $400. Is that for New York City? Is that for the whole year?
No, that's just for this virtual conference.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
this is just
How much was that?
$100 per person.
Okay.
Some of it was interesting, some of it is like, I don't really wanna watch this one, or, so you have to pick what you want.
So they actually finally posted the
Actually,
agenda?
it posted some of it, there was some still to be determined, yeah.
And I told Dad I wasn't gonna do it because I'm on a cancellation list for my other knee, and I don't wanna be where I can't do it and waste the money, so.
Yeah.
Right.
I honestly don't think it's gonna happen, but
So if you change your mind, you have until, I think it's the 18th of February or
Yeah, I think
something
it's
like that.
February to do it, yeah. And, yeah, I had to, we have a ice cream show we're supposed to go to. And it was a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'm like, okay, I gotta know what day we're gonna be doing this and that, so.
so they're gonna have the conference and then they're just gonna, everything's gonna be virtual.
Everything is virtual, they're not even holding it in New York City, and it's just going to be people at their computers at their house or wherever are gonna,
I wish they
Just
would New York
do
City
things.
anyway.
You what?
I wish they would send them, these meetings aren't yet in New York City, I wish they were someplace else.
I agree, I wish they were like in Syracuse or.
yeah.
Because,
Well, the
Even
problem
if they
is,
weren't in the city, they were
they used to
outside the
be
city.
in different places, but nothing is big enough anymore.
okay.
That's
Oh, okay.
tough. The state,
I'm sure Syracuse has got big.
I know
You
it's-
guys need to-
no, it does.
I'm still waiting for somebody to make a call.
Yeah, you guys need to make a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn our meeting?
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, our
You did
8:24.
good. You did good tonight.
Just for your personal information, a motion to adjourn does not need a second.
Okay.
I thought every motion needs.
We're programmed.
Not a motion to adjourn.
I'm heading north, so.
All right, have fun. Hey, my wife's coming down. I told her to get home before tomorrow
You're going
night.
to work?
Are we on live?
You get up
Oh.
before I'm